When I started my debt-free journey, I made $35,000 and I had $50,000 of grad school loans. Starting out was tough. So I'm sharing with you tips for how to pay off student loans on a low income so that you can avoid some of my mistakes. Hey there, I'm Jen. I am the creator of Modern Frugality, and I am here to help you spend less, save more, and do the most with the money that you have. So if that sounds like something you're into, then please subscribe to the channel and I'll be coming at you with more videos like that every week. So there are a lot of options to help low-income people pay off debt, but not every option is right for everyone. Things like balance transfer cards, personal loans, stuff like that, those are helpful tools, but they are not right for everyone. So the three things I'm going to cover today are things that everyone can do in some capacity, and they will 100% help you if you do them. So I'm going to reach as many people as possible with tips that you can actually do, like not generic things that you can't implement, but be open-minded because you may have heard some of these before, but I'll let you know them in different ways so that maybe you can get some fresh perspective on them. The first and arguably most important thing you can do when you are trying to pay off debt on a low income is to make more money. It's plain and simple. I'm sure it's not the answer that you wanted, but at least it's not make a budget, because you've probably already made a budget and you can see you make too little. So sometimes it's not an expense problem, it is an income problem. And I had that when I was first starting out. And after interviewing dozens of debt-free people in my work as a personal finance writer, I can tell you I don't know one person who has paid off large amounts of debt who did not have a high income, who did not prioritize making more money as often as possible. So they didn't just go in there and try to make some money and fail and then not try it again. They kept trying. So maybe the first thing they tried didn't work out, maybe it didn't earn enough, or maybe it didn't work out with their schedule, but they kept trying new things at different times in different seasons. I think the person that is most objective to this is the busy person that doesn't feel like they have enough time. So maybe you're a single mom with kids and you work full time and you're like, how am I ever going to earn more money? Well, maybe a side hustle is not right for you. Maybe you need to earn more at your primary job. And so I advocate for this across the board. Before you try a side hustle, look for either a promotion, a raise, or a job that pays more. And more often than not, out of those three, you're gonna go with the job that pays more. And even in this economy, there are jobs available. It may mean you have to switch industries or the type of work that you're doing, but if it is the only way to increase your income in this season, then maybe you just do the work for a season. If paying off debt is a priority, if it is important to you, then looking for new jobs, looking for higher paying positions, or looking to make more money in general should be of highest importance to you. And it shouldn't just be something that you do once and don't succeed and give up on. It should be something you try and try and try again until you succeed, because it is the most important part of paying off debt if you currently have a low income. For me personally, when I started out making $35,000 on our debt-free journey, I did not stay there. I started working every side hustle I could find, and eventually 2 months in, it led me to shingles. And so I had to find some balance between working side hustles and decreasing my expenses. So while I worked as many side hustles as my body let me, it meant that I wasn't filling all of my time with side hustles. So number 2 is to quit buying stuff. That ultimately was my problem. I kept buying stuff. I thought I could side hustle my way out of debt, but it turned out to not be the case. I could not increase my income high enough to compensate for my lack of control in my spending. Now that I've come to embrace frugality and minimalism, I couldn't see myself living any other way. But I know that's not the case for a lot of people. My most popular video on this channel is about using buy now, pay later sites and the consequences of using them, mainly that they encourage impulse spending. And the reason it's my most popular video is because everybody in the comments disagrees with me and thinks I'm pretentious and privileged. And while I don't deny that, I will say I didn't make the video to be pretentious and privileged. I made it to tell people if you can't save up and pay for something, you shouldn't be buying it. And that there are no necessities that Afterpay and Affirm cover. Literally, if you can use Afterpay or Affirm or any buy now, pay later thing to purchase it, it is by definition not a necessity. There's no Afterpay on your online grocery shopping or your utilities. So there is no necessity that those services cover. So in conclusion, if you think that you need something, I would say reevaluate if you need it. And then once you've dissected and reevaluated and the answer is still yes, I need this, then try to look for it secondhand. So whether that's local buy nothing group, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist. I love to shop eBay, Poshmark, ThreadUp. If it is a thing that you need, 90% of the time, you are going to be able to find it secondhand and save a lot of money, probably 50% on it. So get creative before you automatically go buy something full price and pretend you can afford it by breaking up the payments. The third tip is to gamify it. There's no getting around the fact that if you make a low income and you have a high amount of debt, that it is going to take a while to pay that off. There is no finance hack or tip or video or article that can change that fact for you. All you can do is try to increase your income and lower your expenses, and then try to stay engaged in the process. And one thing that helps people stay engaged in the process is gamifying it. Doing challenges, making mini goals, having a competition with a friend or spouse. These are things that keep your senses engaged, make it fun, and kind of almost for a second allow you to forget how little the shovel is that you're trying to dig yourself out of this big hole with. So try creating some challenges or games to stay engaged in the process. I can say after personally going through a 2-year debt payoff journey that it was a struggle, but now I'm thankful for having gone through that struggle, for the massive amount that it taught me about myself, about personal finance, about everything. But I did not feel that way when I was in it. It took me years of distancing myself from it to become thankful for it. And so a multi-year debt payoff is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to take 2, 3, 5 years to pay off your debt. It's hard, but it's not bad. So don't compare yourself to other people. Find ways to stay engaged, to stay motivated, and to stick with it. That's what's most important. And if you're committed to paying off your debt and you want to go deeper into this conversation about how to sustain the journey, I actually have a free training with 3 secrets to creating a debt payoff plan you'll actually stick to. And so you can register for that free training at the link in the description or by heading to modernfrugality.com/training. This training is for people embarking on or already on a long debt payoff journey who want more strategies and help in sustaining the journey, getting solid foundations, and figuring out what to do next. So if that is you, please register for the training, modernfrugality.com/training, and I will see you there, and I look forward to helping you further. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel and I'll be back with more money saving and spending videos in the coming weeks.